that doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
We made it to Friday, y'all, and that means football is here. Well, obviously, we had football last night in the NFL, and then we'll have football all weekend long, and it makes me just so happy.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Getting into the fall almost, not totally
It does feel
around
nice
here,
out,
but
though.
it's nice
Low
today.
80s. It's cooler here than it is in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
upper 80s and low 90s for them this
It
weekend.
feels great out
so
there.
the Jags maybe have an advantage there.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Jacob because he's going to Florida LSU at LSU, and he said it was supposed to be like 94 there this weekend too. So we do have better weather than a lot of other places.
About it. Well, let's listen. As we get further along, it'll get a little cooler, and hopefully our Jags keep winning and meaningful games. But off to a good start so far with a great challenge ahead of them, man. Great challenge, a winnable game, in my opinion, a winnable game.
I like your shirt, Tommy.
Yeah. Oh, thank
Your
you.
Jaguars
Yeah,
Legend shirt.
I don't always really like, because legend, I'm not a legend. I mean, Freddie should wear this, Tony, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they call us anyway, the old guys, I guess, the old guy community.
It's a nice way.
The old guard.
It's the old guy swag, man. It's pretty nice. I like it. And Friday, Jaguar Day, so here we
Love
go.
it.
I know. I told Taylor in her office that I might have to change up my wardrobe if the Florida football season continues to not go according to plan, because I always do Jags on Thursday and Gators on Friday. But I kind of miss out on everyone else doing the Jaguars on Fridays. And so, we'll see, Billy Napier. Your move.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
up to you,
That's
Billy.
right.
Yeah, so my wardrobe is now in your hands. By the way, I'm going to make this prediction for Sunday. Josh Hines-Allen gets the 2 sacks that he needs and ties the franchise record with, obviously, the 55 sacks total with Tony Brackens. I think he gets 2 sacks on Sunday. I think he was really close against Bryce Young a couple times. I think he's probably been stewing on the fact that he didn't get 1 sack because he's done really well against the Panthers in the past. That's what I predict.
Yeah, Bryce was pretty elusive, too, and way more elusive than Joe. And let me tell you something. The Browns' D-line or defense, they worked since his offensive line last week. I mean, worked them. They had like 9 QB hits, 7 tackle for losses, 3 sacks. I mean, they couldn't stop them. That's why the game was so close. But I think we got a shot. Our defensive line, I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. That'd be fantastic. Records meant to be broken, but I think our entire front should be feeling pretty good about going against them. Now, they're going to come out swinging. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be a physical battle, but I think we'll match it, and I think we'll have a good day up front on defense.
Yeah, and I think that you would love that to have happened last week just because it's at home and that moment being able to celebrate with the fans at your own stadium is really fun to do. But in general, breaking a record like that, especially in Jacksonville when it feels like it's been so long since you have something like that to talk about that next player who you feel like the entire NFL is talking about in that sense. And so I feel like I like that prediction, actually.
Yeah.
I really do.
If he gets 2, I feel like then he's going to be like, guys, all I need is half of a sack to break
Let
this
me do
record.
this.
Let me eat.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And look, they have a chance to do that. And quite frankly, they have to do that. They got to rattle Joe a little bit. I mean, look, they're going to score. It's like Liam said, they're going to get some. It's okay. We just got to come back and make sure that it doesn't happen back to back and we control it and then let our offense, of course, do their work. I think it could be kind of, I don't want to say like a 30-point shootout, but it could be, we're going to need our offense to score points. I mean, we're going to need at least 21 points. I think it's in that 24 range, I think that could get it done. But I think our defense, if they can control that line of scrimmage, the run game doesn't bother me. We're going to be talking to Eric Armstead a little bit later on in the 3 o'clock hour. There were some runs that they got gashed a little bit. I'd like to know what is that? Is that just guys getting blocked out of position? What's the case? Because they're going to have to shore that up. But since these running games probably comparable to Carolina, so it's not like you have to.
I would say Carolina's is better than
a little bit better, I guess. Yeah, but that guy's better.
I don't know.
The Bengals running back, he's better in space than in between.
Brown.
Yeah, Chase Brown. Thank you. Great call. So if we can control that, then we can get after Joe. But our offense is going to have to score those points, Taylor. We know Cam's going to be good because he's always good. We need Trevor and the guys we need a couple touchdowns out of them at the minimum. to win this game.
Yeah, I don't know. Cincy, I think, had the worst running game last year. And I feel like Chase Brown is good, but for some reason, I think a lot of that's the offensive line. They weren't able.
That's why the Panthers is better, for sure.
Yeah, and so I do think that is something that a lot of teams have figured out, and that's the times you do get the Bengals are the times that you take advantage of those moments, and you're like, okay, they can't run the ball, so just get to Burrow as much as possible and try and make him make some mistakes, which doesn't happen often. But if you can get a couple a couple out of, not saying turnovers, but some couple bad throws, whether that you want to pick it off, that's great. That's how you get the Bengals. It's hard to do, but it's possible. And there's teams, that's kind of the recipe they've had to be able to do that.
I also like to get the receivers frustrated because obviously last week they didn't have the week that they expected in a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins.
Right.
And we've seen that. It was in Jacksonville when Jalen Ramsey went at it with A.J. Green.
Yeah,
and certainly,
that was great.
Yeah, so
Loved
Tyson, if you want, probably more Jarian. Jarian Jones, if you want to get into Jamar Chase's head, by all means.
Yeah.
That would certainly
It'll be like
work.
Quentin Allen on the sideline just yelling things at them.
Yeah, that's one of the key. You can't let Chase kill you. I mean, he's going to get something, obviously, but you can't let him take over. Just like you can't let Hendrickson on the other side take over. He can kill you. I mean, he can ruin your game. He can ruin your entire offense. You got to make sure that he's taken care of, at least to a certain degree.
Yeah, and we saw last night, like, they moved Micah Parsons around, and Rashawn Gary spoke about it too, that they communicate with one another and decide which side, one wants to play on more. I guess Micah probably more decides, and then Rashawn does the opposite. And so you do have to wonder with Trey Hendrickson how the Bengals are going to operate that. But to me, Taylor, it's kind of crazy. The Bengals only scored 17 points last week, and they had 2 interceptions of Joe Flacco. Like, that's just how bad the offense was in totality.
So I was looking at last year because obviously they lost to the Patriots week 1 last year, and it was 16-10. They have a weird pattern that keeps happening this way. So they lost to the Patriots 16-10. Week 2, they lost to the Chiefs 26-25. Week 3, they lost to the Commanders 38-33, and then they're scoring 34, 38, and then they just kind of take off. But then they have weird games against the Giants last year. It was only 17-7, only 21-14 against the Browns after that. So I do think that the Bengals, as much as you count on them being able to put up 30-plus a lot of times, they every year they do have that slow start. They also do have those games where the offense falters, and I think because all of the other things that go wrong, and those are the teams that have been the Browns are familiar with the Bengals, obviously. When it's your division games are different. You almost have to throw all the rules out because those teams have kind of them figured out. And I do think that's part of the Browns. The Browns have a good defense. They also know the Bengals very well.
I mean, the Browns defense shut them down for the most part. They didn't run the ball. It's like 2 yards a carry. Yards per attempt was like 4 something, which is not Joe Burrow-esque at all. So we have the opportunity, I think. And now maybe we're not, I don't know every Browns defender. Of course, we know Myles Garrett, and he had a monster day. But I think collectively, we could be that kind of defense. And quite frankly, we need to be, which means the interior defensive line's got to play better, a little bit better than they did against Carolina.
Absolutely. I have a wild stat for y'all. The top 3 defenses when it comes to takeaways in all of the NFL all come from the same conference. Not just the same conference, the same division.
Okay.
The AFC South has the top 3. Now, granted, it's 1 week, but the top 3 defenses or defensive takeaways from week 1. The Titans had 4, which is insane. 2 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions. And then the Jaguars and Colts tied with 3, and then the Bengals had those 2 interceptions. But just the AFC South and not the Texans being in that just seems incredibly
interesting.
Crazy.
That's week 1 in the NFL for you.
But absolutely.
No
and the Titans did not win. Obviously, the Jaguars and the Colts were the 2 teams in the division that did
Colts
win.
Crushed.
The fact that Liam Coen loves the screen game, do you think that so I read that the Browns they ran 12 screen plays against the Bengals. Liam ran 6 last week. That made me a little nervous that the Bengals defense is going to be quite prepared for the screen game because the Browns ran it so much.
Yeah, listen, you can use the screen game a little bit to loosen up that defense, but you're going to have to try to get it in between the tackles. There's no doubt about that, at least to feel them out and how you're going to work that. Now, you're not going to sit there and just, run up the back of your lineman if they're stuffing you every play. You got to loosen them up. Sometimes those screens can loosen up a little play action if you get any kind of movement but you're going to have to play that little chess match with. They're very big up front. Hendrickson doesn't move. He stays pretty much the right side, but they're big up front. B.J. Hill is a very big defensive tackle. Their other tackles, like he's a monster too. They're not the greatest defensive line, but they're a physical bunch. At least they showed it. And you're going to have a challenge getting to move them because they did really well against the run last week. Again, one game, and we need to do a little bit better. We weren't bad. It got the yards per carry. I think for Carolina was 4.5. Bryce Young's 26-yard scramble skewed that a little bit.
Right.
But there were too many. I wrote them all down, actually. I was going through them, just too many, like 9-yarders. Then there would be like no yards or 2 yards, then another 8, then, 5. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to shorten that up a little bit. But I think they did. I think towards the second half and end of the game, the defense really did kind of tighten up against the run for the most part.
Yeah, I saw a stat, too, of last week that the Bengals allowed the third most catches in the slot. And then that stat linked to Travis Hunter was 70% slot rate in the game last week. Now, we've heard now he's going to be playing more defense. So what does that look like? But I do think that's something you take advantage of then, too, because if they can't really stop that, you use it. You use it to your advantage.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'd love to walk away and say Josh Hines-Allen had a better game than Trey Hendrickson, and I'd love to walk away and say Brian Thomas Jr. had a better game than Jamar Chase. Or if it ends up being Travis Hunter had a better game than Jamar Chase, just depending on where the targets go. A quick injury update. Good news is Liam Coen did say before practice today that he expects Foye Oluokun to play on Sunday against the Bengals. He missed practice yesterday with an illness. I was a little nervous, obviously, because you need Foye Oluokun in every game, really.
No doubt.
But it sounds like he will be there. And then Anton Harrison, full participant with the back injury. Cole Van Lannon, full participant also. We haven't gotten today's injury report, but this was as of yesterday. And so it's good that Cole is now a full participant to have depth there at that offensive line position. And then Ryan O'Halloran tweeted out from practice today that the rookie offensive lineman Wyatt Milam was going through drills for the first time since his knee injury against the Saints, and he did not have a brace on. So that is good news. And then also
Very
Buster Brown was limited in practice yesterday and on Wednesday as he returns with that ankle injury that we saw in training camp. So the Jaguars, knock on wood, seem to be getting healthier, which is good.
I mean, they were already pretty healthy, and then now it's getting better. So
for sure. Man, Buster's probably like, man, what's this? Practice?
Yeah.
I've been out here forever.
It's been a while.
I know.
Like,
it
poor
does
guy.
feel like
it's been like a month, I feel.
Yeah, it does
at least.
feel like a long
feels
time.
Like it does feel like a long time. But I'm glad he's out there. I liked how he held down the fort last year when he was called upon. He's definitely gritty. He's a scrappy type guy. He's athletic enough. He's built good size for, being a cornerback. He can be physical with the run. I like Buster Brown a lot. Well, even if he's just backing up and helping out, he's good to have in our secondary.
I totally agree. Like Tom said, we'll have Eric Armstead at 3 o'clock today, Jaguars defensive tackle. Talk all about that Panthers win and then also preview the Bengals game. And then speaking of the Bengals, at 2:35, Dave Lapham will join us, Bengals legend. I think he gets the legend status.
He is a legend.
Yeah, he gets the legend
without a
status.
doubt.
So we'll talk to him at 2:35. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a football Friday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
He's got his trigger finger on the pulse of Jacksonville football.
Does he have a name?
He calls himself Mike Duraco.
And we get his insight every Thursday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Brightened by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
Watch football this season in downtown Duval at Pour Tap Room Jacksonville. 2 floors, 15 TVs, a giant projector, 80 self-pour taps of ice-cold craft beer, wine and cocktails, plus a full bar, wings, burgers, and more, and pizza delivered to your table from Pizza Dynamo. Downtown at Laura and Forsyth. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville. A beer festival every day.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
The Friday Night Lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farrah and Farrah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
Green Law Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904 404-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Green Law Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Green Law Group, for the insured.
Why does it feel like July in here?
Don't let a broken AC turn not so hot September into sweaty season all over again. Duck Rooter is Jacksonville's most trusted plumbing, septic, and air conditioning company. Visit duckduckac.com.
Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is celebrating 30 years with a huge new and used firearm sale all September. It's the perfect time to save during Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday. 0 sales tax on firearms at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Here's a simple tip for shoulder health to improve your posture. Slouching can put extra stress on your shoulders, leading to pain and injury. Make sure your head is over your shoulders are relaxed and pulled back, and your spine is properly aligned. Whether you're sitting or standing, if you sit for long periods of time, make sure to get up and take breaks and work on pulling your shoulders back. Get up and get moving, Jacks. And go Jags.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor, outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Friday afternoon. I just love football season. I know I say that probably twice a week, but I really do. I just love it. I look forward to the food that comes with football season. I look forward to probably every game other than my game tomorrow night. We were tailgating last weekend, which, Taylor, by the way, I forgot to say on air. Thank you for coming over to take care of our dogs so that we could go to Gainesville last week.
And we had a blast.
Yeah, you and Keaton. A week ago, well, really, last Saturday, I had bowl peanuts in Gainesville and optimism. That's what I had. And now, I have no bowl peanuts. I have no optimism, but that's a story for another day. Let's get into Tom's takeaways.
Now.
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
All right, my takeaway for today on this beautiful Friday is centered around our pal Walker Little.
Ooh.
He's got to go against Trey Henderson this weekend, this Sunday, and Trey's one of the top pass rushers in the game, top overall defensive ends. He plays right defensive end. Most of you know who he is. He's been around. Very good player. Walker Little is our left tackle. Listen, the O-line did really well last week. They did. They played very well, and Walker Little included. I went back and watched. He did a nice job. It's a big test, but this is why you are our left tackle. Now, if we got to chip, if we got to leave a tight end, that's fine. I don't really care. You just got to control Trey Hendrickson and not let him take over a game. He can take over a game like Chris Jones takes over a game from time to time, and who did that here in Jacksonville not too long ago. But this is a great test, and I think Walker's up for it, and I'm pulling for him. I hope he shows that, hey, man, I am that kind of left tackle. I am that left tackle that you don't always have to leave a back in for me or have a tight end to my side or, our protection has to come my way. I can handle this guy. I want to see it, and I hope it happens, and that's my takeaway today. Brought to you by our good friends at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Yeah, I think a huge piece to that, Taylor, is Travis Etienne Jr. And if they can get the run game going similar to last week, then the pass blocking doesn't have to be as important, right?
Yeah.
Pass blocking is always important, but what I mean is you're not going to be throwing the football as much if you are able to consistently run the football. And we talked about how Trevor said that postseason last year. Like, we needed more of a consistent, effective run game. And if the Jaguars actually have this, then he's not going to have to throw it 40 times.
Yeah, and I think that was the issue last week when you were talking about that Bengals-Browns game. Neither of them could run the ball, and you saw how that affected both of their offenses through the air and, in general, the score. Because if you looked at that, you're like, what the heck happened to this game? That's what happened. Neither team was able to do anything on the ground, and then you have a team in the Jaguars who just had 200 yards on the ground. So if you can really make that happen, number one, I think that it does help Trevor in general, because anytime you're able to run the ball, that takes pressure off your quarterback. But I also do think that they have to change their game plan a little bit of what they are sending towards Trevor and what exactly things look like if they are able to run the ball even remotely close to what the Jaguars were able to do last week.
Well, in order to run, our interior three are going to have to play really well again. You got, like I said, B.J. Hills, but he's a really good player. Had a sack last week. He's really good against the run. Logan Wilson, a really good linebacker. I think you can run at him. I think that's the way you can kind of control him instead of letting him use his speed and track you down sideline to sideline. So maybe there's something there. But in order to run this football, that interior three, they need all five, don't get me wrong. That interior three, they have to have a strong physical game. And I tell you what, that's what Liam is preaching, man. He wants a physical offensive line. They were physical last week. We need them to do it again. And it's why we play this game, the next challenge. We go up to Cincy. By the way, I always loved going on the road. Us against the world, powerful. It's like 300. You know that movie 300?
Yeah.
Where they're all like, and they go and beat everybody for a little while. It's like that, but it's us against the world. It's a very powerful thing, and you can go in there and you can beat just about anybody with that kind of attitude. So I'm looking forward to the entire thing, and I think it will be a physical matchup, and I think we'll match that physicality. I think that's what Liam Coen is trying to build with these Jags.
Well, speaking about Liam Coen, sorry, Taylor, I was going to play a Liam Coen cut, but go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, because I heard a hacker, he was with Ezra Cleveland, and there was a quote out of that I loved so much, and I tweeted it too last night, because they asked, obviously, they got the game balls, all the offensive line got the game balls yesterday, or shirts, I don't remember which one, but he said, I think as a unit, it's more important for the running back to get recognition. I think that comes with the position of the offensive line, and I love that, because Hacker was pretty much saying, like, oh, I heard that all of you, you all got
the T-shirts.
The T-shirts, and, how does that make you feel? And I love that he so quickly shifted it to, that's great, and I'm glad we can kind of get that sometimes, but to me, the running back getting that recognition and what Etienne coming out of that game, everybody talking about Travis Etienne, that you want that as an offensive lineman. And we say it all the time. If you're talking about the offensive lineman, usually it's not good. Usually you're saying, oh no, they allowed this many sacks or this many pressures or they're getting bull rushed or whatever. And you're talking about Travis Etienne had, X amount of yards. And if you're talking about that, I think that is also credit to the offensive line.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and we didn't really see that much of Bashal Tootin. So I do think that may keep the Bengals, on their toes, so to speak.
Yeah, listen, and also the timing of the back was on, and when to go north and south. That quick, I got to plant the foot and go. I think Etienne was right on target. You go back again to that long one. It was perfectly set up, and how he cut it outside once he got past that first level, and it was all blocked up. And Ezra had his guy, Hainsey had his guy, Walker had his guy, and swing up the middle and then out to the side, and off he goes. But that's getting vertical, those vertical gaps, and they showed a lot last week. Again, not the best defense, not the best defensive line, but a good warm up, and they passed the test with flying colors, did they not? I mean, I think they did.
Yeah, A++.
Yeah, A++.
Especially because we're going to continue to compare it to last season and the season before that.
Right, as we should.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Liam Coen met with reporters earlier today, and he was asked how difficult it is to prepare for an Al Golden defense.
It's definitely, you look at especially short yardage, goal line, certain specific settings or situations, and you don't have a lot of inventory. So you do have to have an idea of Notre Dame, what they did, situational calls, 2-point plays, got to have it. All those, you don't really have a ton of evidence from Cleveland, this past week. So we've had to dive into it, which does make it challenging for sure. Where there's just an unknown, almost like going back into a week 1 game a little bit, where you're like, we could definitely see some unscouted looks here, some things that we did not see from last week. All right, what could those be, and how do we adjust to those in game? Those are the conversations we've had all week.
As Taylor's over here going, that's my coordinator. That's my coordinator.
Oh, he left us.
Was. Well, listen, I think it probably goes both ways. What does Al Golden have on Liam Coen with this Jaguar offense? I mean, he's got what he did with Tampa, and he's got a little preseason. He's got last week. It's nothing.
And if you go back to college, I suppose Kentucky, when
maybe
Liam
you might take a look at
was the offensive coordinator.
So you might go back that far just to see how he calls the game.
There's a bunch of Bengals fans that are also Kentucky fans. So Bengals fans are going to be familiar with Liam Cohen's offense.
Yeah, right. Good call. But look, they're going to play a little chess match till they figure each other out, and it should be fun to watch. I mean, and then you flip it over, because I really want Dave Campanelli. I want him to be real aggressive. I really do. Not
I think
like
that's his nature.
Not full on all the time, but just look, man. This is his first big test, I think, as a D coordinator.
Agreed.
Not that last week wasn't. It was a test. It was his first game. But he's going against a prolific quarterback, a quarterback that can keep you up at night, receivers that can keep you up at night. You have a shot with the O-line. There's no doubt there, and the running game. But is that enough, to overcome Joe Burrow and company? But I don't want him to be, I got to, I can't let him hit me for a big gain. I can't be too aggressive. No. Go with your gut. Go after Joe Burrow. We all know what happens if we can rattle the QB. Even the greats, they get rattled if they know you're getting too close to them. Hopefully we can get that push, because you got to get more push inside to really collapse that pocket and make Joe have to speed up his throws. But man, if they can get that even just a little bit, they're going to have a good chance. Obviously, the offense has got to roll as well, and I don't concern myself with Liam calling. I think he's going to be aggressive no matter what. I mean, look at
4th and 1 on down 37 on the opening drive, first game ever.
Yeah, right.
As a head coach, I think
we knew it was coming, but they didn't.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, and I think that also it shows the confidence in your defensive backs and your corners if you are still putting the pressure on Joe and saying, okay, we have faith in Tyson Campbell and Jarian or Travis, whoever is on that side of the ball. And especially, I think, with a game like this, you're hearing them now talk about Travis Hunter playing more defense. When are we deploying those Travis Hunter big plays? Is it in those moments? And when you talk about third downs, which the Jags struggled a little bit last week with third downs, Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks on third downs. I think last year he had 115 passer rating, 13 touchdowns, 1 pick, and over almost 1,200 yards on third downs. That's how you've got to take. Those are moments that will eat you alive if you don't know how to handle those. And that is going to be, to me, one of the bigger challenges for Campy, whatever we're calling him.
I say Campy. If Liam calls him Campy, then we can call him Campy.
And if you can't, on the defensive side, handle it, your offense has to match it to have a chance to win this game. I mean, they just do. If our defense, and I do think Cincy will score. It's not like I don't think we're going to shut them down like we shut down Carolina by any means. I don't think they're going to drop us either for 40. You know what I mean? But
you feel better because they only scored 17 last week. That at least gives you, if you have a good defense, that gives you optimism that they didn't put up 40 last week against the Browns.
Yeah, and look, I mean, the 10 that Carolina scored, it's legit. But that when the return got called back, they got the ball midfield. If you recall, you know what I mean? It wasn't like they were pinned and went 90 yards for that touchdown. It could have been 33-3.
Yeah, and the touchdown came after a questionable call. I'm trying to remember what happened. It was along the sidelines. And
it was the non-catch, right?
Yes, that's exactly
the
what
non-catch.
it was. Yeah.
So anyway, they took care of business last week. They've going to have their hands full this week. There's no question about it. But hey, man, this is a great test, and if they pass this test, it's not like that since he's top of the mountain. But you know what? They're halfway at least. And
for sure.
if you can take them down on the road, I don't care if you win by 1. It doesn't matter to me whatsoever. You come home, man, at 2-0, and you're feeling pretty darn good about yourselves with Houston coming to town. And it's going to be rocking here in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
100%. All right, we will get the Bengals side of things. On the other side, we will chat with former Bengals offensive lineman Dave Lapham. He will join us next. It's Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Greenlaw Group Studios. 1010XL is your home for Florida Gators football. Protected by the law firm of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Follow every Gators game on 1010XL.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community-focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,600 five-star Google reviews, of course we chose Closets by Design to help us get organized at home. Our wonderful designer, Doug, came to our house and made the whole process so easy. The install is about to happen at my house, and we cannot wait to transform the clutter that we've had into seamless organization, and they can do the same for you. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. Closets, garages, laundry rooms, and more. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until September 30th. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
First Coast, I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullarita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're gonna see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you, and we are joined now by a Bengals legend, Dave Lapham, going to join us just right now. Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? Legend, you're too kind.
Absolutely. You're going to be inducted into the Bengals Ring of Honor this year, so that absolutely makes you a legend. And
That's
you've
right.
been with the radio side of things for a long time.
Yeah, it has been a long time. 40th year coming up. So it's mind-boggling, really. Never thought I'd do Bengals radio ever at all, and to do it for 40 years, it just, I don't know, it's hard to get my arms around. It really is.
I can understand that, but certainly congratulations. All right, I want to talk about the offensive line. Everybody knows how good your quarterback is. But as a former offensive lineman, how frustrated do you get watching that offensive line not able to protect him?
Yeah, it has been frustrating. There's no question. I mean, like you said, Joe Burrow, in my opinion, is the best in the NFL. I think he's the most accurate passer. I think he spins the ball with unbelievable consistency. It comes off his hand very fluidly, very smoothly. And he's very tough physically and mentally. I mean, he is an offensive lineman's dream. You know, it's like he doesn't like chew and dog his offensive linemen, call them out, point them out, embarrass them in front of other people if in fact they have a bad play. And everybody has bad plays, and Joe understands and realizes that. So linemen love to play for him. They absolutely love Joe Burrow as a teammate, want to play hard for him and do a great job for him. So. I think that the interior, the guard position of the offensive line has been where there have been some problems, and it's hopefully been rectified here a little bit. They feel like they're pretty solid with Orlando Brown at left tackle and Amarius Mims at right tackle and Ted Karras at the center position. Now they feel like they just need to find the right combination of people at the guard spots, and they feel like they'll be good to go.
Dave, anybody who listens to this show knows I agree with you. Joe Burrow is my favorite quarterback in the NFL, and I've defended him a lot. But I think that when you talk about the other side, when we're sticking with trenches, you talk about the defensive line. And last week, week 1, the Jaguars were able to rush for a lot of yards, 200 yards they had on the ground. And I know the Bengals defense last year was one of the things that struggled. But what are you kind of expecting? You know, Trey Hendrickson, obviously the name that a lot of people talk about. But on the interior with the B.J. Hill and some of the guys on the inside, what are you expecting with that when it comes to the run game on the ground?
Yeah, that's going to be, I think, the key to the game. I think I thought the Jacksonville Jaguars, ran the ball extremely effectively in their opener and controlled the line of scrimmage and controlled the running game and controlled the clock and controlled a lot of things. So that's what happens when you're better at the line of scrimmage, and you can dominate matchups there and control the tempo. And I thought that the Jaguars did a great job of that. They threw the football to supplement, the complement the running attack. They did not have to throw the football to make plays make key plays in the passing game to win the football game. So that's the Bengals' goal, is to make it more one-dimensional, make them struggle in the running game. The Jacksonville Jaguars are always going to try to establish that ground game, but the Bengals feel like if they can make it hard for them to establish that ground game and make them have to go to their passing attack more than they want to on a per-snap basis on, play calls during the course of the football game, they feel like they'll be in better shape to control the football game.
Dave, great to have you on this show. So what's the feeling like up there, man? I mean, you guys thinking Jags are coming to town. This you chalk it up as a W, but, before the season, when you go through the list of the schedule and how you come up with the wins and losses for the team, and we feel down here this is a very winnable game for our team, but how do you guys feel as the Jacksonville Jaguars are looking to come to town?
Yeah, I learned a long time ago as a player, you don't chalk up anybody as winnable opponent. It comes back to bites in the butt more times than you care to remember. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, have the respect of the Cincinnati Bengals. They got guys that I talked to during the course of the week when they came out of watching tape of the Jaguars play in that opener, and even in the preseason games, they came out with a healthy dose of respect. So I don't think that they're going in, thinking, oh, this is going to be a game where you can just come out and, kind of just work your way through, casually work your way through pregame warm-ups, and then put it in cruise control and go out and win the football game. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to get it done. You're going to have to make plays. You're going to have to make important plays at key moments of the football game that determine the outcome and make sure that Jacksonville is not capable or is not allowed to do that because they are capable of doing that. So I don't think that the Bengals aren't looking past the Jacksonville Jaguars one iota. In my conversations I've had with the head coach, assistant coaches, and players, man, they respect what the Jaguars did and have done.
Dave Lapham with us. You can find him on X at DL In the Trenches, and that's the In the Trenches podcast and video cast, joining us to talk, of course, all things Bengals. What have you seen from Al Golden that's a lot different than maybe last year's defense?
Yeah, Al is a very organized, detail-oriented football coach. I mean, he understands the game of football. He knows every single nuance and adjustment, that you need to make in the game of football to be competitive and to win, your share of football games, win more football games, then you lose. He's very, very intelligent, very smart guy, just overall IQ and football IQ. He sees the game at the highest level that it can possibly be seen. He played the game and he's coached the game, and there's not much that can surprise him now during the course of an NFL game. I don't think he feels like he's going to go into a football game, apprehensive. I feel like he's very confident going into football games, and he feels like his game plan is on point. He feels like he's trying to take advantage of every matchup that they felt like during the course of the week, that if they saw a matchup mismatch, that they're going to install a series of plays to try to take advantage of that, and he'll have that arsenal, ready to use during the course of the football game and in making his play call. So I think Al Golden is confident, in this football game against the Jaguars, but he's not taking anything for granted. Knowing Al Golden and having talked to Al Golden, he doesn't take any NFL opponent for granted. There's no question.
Dave, when you talk about the connection between, we know it's there between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but what is the comfortability level with the guys behind that? The pass catchers, Yossi Voss, obviously, but getting multiple tight ends this last week involved with both Gesicki and Fant. Is that an approach you think will kind of linger through the season too, both those tight ends?
Yeah, I think that Joe Burrow knows that he's going to have to involve everybody. It's going to have to be an equal participation deal during the course of the season because, there are teams that are going to say, Jamar Chase is just not going to beat us today. Mm-hmm. We're going to double him, we're going to triple him, we're going to do everything we possibly can, not let him get off the line of scrimmage, and not let him get into his routes, on a clean, smooth basis where he's got the timing with Joe Burrow, in that rhythm passing game when the ball comes out of Joe's hands. Jamar Chase is right exactly where Joe Burrow expects him to be. A lot of teams this year are not going to try to. They're going to try to prevent that from taking place. They're not going to allow the Bengals to execute their rhythm passing game without any kind of obstacle in front of them. So there are going to have to be a lot of guys that are going to have to step up. T. Higgins being one, but you can take both receivers out of the football game with corner and safety. You can double both, and then the tight end becomes a factor. And Mike Gesicki, I think, is capable of having big games for this football team. He has in the past. He has with other teams and at the college level at Penn State during the course of his career. They've got other tight ends that can have impact on the football game as well. And like you mentioned, Andre Yosivas is a young player that is very, very intelligent, high football IQ as well, and he knows Bengals offense cold. He knows every nuance of the offense, and he and Joe Burrow have worked a lot together. They stay after practice together and get extra throws in. So in order to increase the comfort level and feel good about each other during the course of the football game.
One of the keys for sure is trying to control Trey Hendrickson, getting to our quarterback, which is a very tall order. What have you seen out of the rookie Shamar Stewart so far, Dave? I know limited snap count last week, but what do you expect out of him, and what kind of player do you think he is and maybe will become? Yeah, you're right. A limited snap count with Shamar last week. He got nicked up a little bit. He signed late, so
he's still, I think, adjusting to the National Football League, to the caliber of player that he's facing in the National Football League, and things that teams are going to try to do to take him out of the football game, like we talked about from a protection standpoint. Basically take a lot of their resources and utilize them to neutralize Shamar Stewart. But first and foremost, the first guy they're going to do that with is Trey Hendrickson. And Trey Hendrickson understands that. Trey Hendrickson has been dealing with that for years. He dealt with it all last year and accumulated 17.5 sacks. Same thing the year before and accumulated 17.5 as well.
Yep.
So he led the NFL last year with 17.5, 35 sacks over a 2-year time frame, lead the NFL. So the Bengals know and realize that Trey Hendrickson, you're going to have to game plan ways to free him up and get him in one-on-one situations. And when he does get one-on-one situations, Trey Hendrickson usually wins. And they're hopeful the same thing with Shamar Stewart. I mean, he has shown in practice when he gets one-on-one situations, one-on-one pass rush situations, he does win a high percentage of the time.
Sounded like Trey Hendrickson just went by, as a matter of fact. All right, Dave, we know you have a busy day and weekend ahead of you. We so appreciate your time. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. Hopefully it's a good football game, but not that too good a football game. Hopefully the Bengals take control of the football game early and get a big W. They'd love to be 2-0, and their fans would go crazy because, man, they have not started well the last 2 or 3 years. It's been drudgery trying to dig out of a hole. So be nice to get up 2 games in the win column.
Yes, and the Jaguars are certainly looking
in the same boat.
2-0 for the first time since 2018. Thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
There he goes, former offensive lineman. He played all 5 positions for the Bengals, and they made it to the Super Bowl, but then lost to the 49ers.
49ers, yeah. Absolutely. That was that throw, right, to not Rice, number 80, Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Right, wasn't it Taylor? Joe Montana. You remember those seconds ago? Right? Wasn't that Cincinnati?
That sounds right, yeah.
That was Cincinnati, I think so. When Montana said, hey, look, John Candy's in the front row. It was Super Bowl. Do you remember that?
It was the year I was born, so I don't remember.
I remember seeing clips of it.
Yeah, I definitely saw clips.
Yeah.
For sure. Actually, I think it was even the previous, January, so I don't even know if I was born yet. But either way, all right, we've got more to do, including Taylor's Dolls Tangent right here on 1010 92.5 FM.
For high school football play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
The Bulldogs look for a big bounce-back game against the undefeated Crusaders. Bulls Bishop Kenny, Friday at 7 on 1010XL.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Helmets and heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sonny's here.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 12, 2004, Roger Federer beats Leighton Hewitt in straight sets to win his first U.S. Open title, the first of 5 straight.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Need electric vehicle repair? Guardian Collision is expert certified for any electric vehicle. Trust the home team for auto body repair on your EV. Guardian Collision. They guard what moves you at GuardianCollision.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Chip Davis, director of the Flounder Pounder Fishing Tournament. We are fast approaching our 16th annual tournament benefiting the Jacksonville School for Autism. With the help of our amazing community, we raised over $1.4 million the last 15 years. This year's tournament will be held at Palm Valley Outdoors on the Intercoastal Waterway. Captain's meeting is Thursday night, October 9th, and the tournament is Saturday, October 11th. I'm inviting you and your family to come out and enjoy our tournament festivities, raise some money, and support autism awareness. Special thanks to U.S. Army Recruitment Jacks for their support. Flounder Pounder for Autism 2025. See you there.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
This song does not make me happy right now. It's supposed to be played when Florida wins and Jaden Ball rushes for over 100 yards, but Billy Napier decides to play other running backs. That's neither here nor there. Just a reminder when it comes to programming today, it is a football Friday. That means that the Frangie Show will be on 92.5 FM from 4 to 6. Rick Ballou will be on 1010 AM from 4 to 6. But that is, of course, into the night. Then from 6 to 7, the college kickoff with RJ Saunders.
All right.
Comes up. RJ, I'll come back to you and ask what's coming up in just a second. And then following that, we have Bishop Kenny plays host to Bowls tonight.
Yeah.
We obviously air both of those games, so you can hear the Bowls version on the 1010 AM stream and as well as 1010 AM. And then you can hear the Bishop Kenny call on 92.5 FM and the stream. And then, of course, Friday Night Lights with Hacker and Dylan comes up from 10 to midnight or whenever those games go final. RJ, what's coming up on the college kickoff?
Yeah, we'll have Ryan Hacker Green talking about just what the heck happened in that loss that Florida took at the hands of USF. Also going to show UCF a little bit of love. Kyle Nash is going to join me to talk everything Knights football, and as they're going to be welcoming North Carolina here in a couple of weeks. They enjoy a bye week this week, and then get into some picks. I have some picks of my own that I want to give. Start doing that and see what my record is going to be at the end of this college football season. So we'll have all that on a college football Friday night.
You can just pick for me if you want.
Right now, the picks are a sore spot for Taylor. I told Tom earlier, Taylor, that I've spent way too much time this week on the picks and obsessing over them.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe that's the problem.
I haven't until this week.
Wing it.
I just had a hard time coming up with a wild card. But either way, Taylor Dahl has a tangent right now.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
Taking a look at draft picks from the 2025 draft and the roles they played in week one. Some interesting things that I took from this that I saw someone broke it down where I had all 7 rounds, every player, what their snap count was on every, like a lot of work went into whoever made this. So credit to them. I reposted it on my Twitter. But a few notes, 22 of 32 first round picks played the majority of snaps in week one. Highest percentage of snaps by those: Cam Ward, Will Campbell, Armand Membo, Kelvin Banks, Tyler Booker, Gray Zabel, Donovan Jackson, Malachi Starks, Josh Connerly, and Josh Simmons.
So a quarterback and then a lot of offensive linemen.
Yeah. And then Malachi Starks.
Yeah.
Every lineman drafted in the first round played every single snap in in week 1. Only other players that played in every snap was Cam Ward and Malachi Starks in week 1. So that was just an interesting tidbit. You're using those offensive linemen that you're taking in the first round. And there's a lot of good ones. Several of those played really well. I know Kelvin Banks looked good. I know Membo looked good. So a lot of names we talked a ton about before the draft. Only 9 players in the second round played the majority of snaps for their team. Brian's linebacker, Schlesinger, he was one of them. Texans, Jaden Higgins. Jonah, Arizona, we talked a ton about him during the offseason too. Mason Taylor, who was one of my guys that I was talked about, I expected just because Justin Fields loves the tight ends. Texans, Ursary, he was one of them. Bengals, Demetrius Knight, who you will see this weekend. He looked really good in week 1, honestly. Washington's Trey Amos, and then another guy that I loved pre-draft in Philly's Makuba, the safety. That's the one that I wanted here very badly. Only 4 players in the third round played the majority of snaps, and that was Bengals left guard Fairchild, so you'll see him this weekend. Also, Patriots guard Jared Wilson. We talked a ton about him in the offseason. Falcons Xavier Watts. I talked a ton about him in the offseason. And then Upton Stout for the Niners. Those were the only ones that played the majority from the 4th round. The next round, about 4 players. If you look at the 5th, 6th, 7th round, only around 4 players in each round played a lot, and there were majority defensive backs in that area. But if you looked at round 6 and 7, it was interesting too. So only 31 of 81 players were even in the games at all, and 16 of those solely special teams players. So the other 15, only 1 played significant snaps, and that was Bills corner Dorian Strong, who only allowed 1 completion in his first start. 18 of the other players in the final 2 rounds were not even on active rosters.
Wow. So 31 out of 81. That means 50 didn't make the team.
Yeah. Well, 50 didn't play. Yeah. Or they were not inactive or hurt or whatever. But 18 of them weren't on the team.
Wow.
Yeah. So that shows the significant drop-off of those first 3 rounds compared to those later rounds, and then also some of the significance of being able to hit on some of those when you talk about the 4th rounder, guys like a Jared Wilson and players like that they were able to get that are making impact quick on their teams.
And you wonder if Caleb Ransaw wasn't hurt, if Wyatt Milan wasn't hurt, would they have factored in as far as those 3rd-round picks for this team?
Yeah.
But with injuries, obviously, Ransaw's done for the entire season, and then Milan is coming back. All right, you want to give somebody lunch on this Football Friday?
Let's do it. Let's give away free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Caller number 2. You get free lunch to Chick-fil-A today.
Excellent. I'm glad you didn't make it the number of our next guest because RJ would be very busy. Number 91 joins us next. Eric Armstead, Jaguars defensive tackle. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Start your college game day tailgate early.
I'm RJ Saunders. Get everything you need to know before the games begin.
It's the Bueller Aaron Plumbing College Kickoff.
Served up by Sonny's Barbecue.
Friday night at 6 on 1010XL.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K. October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
You already know it's your main man, E to the T, here for Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft. And with ball season here, make sure you're on the lookout for my instant reaction before, during, or after the game. All brought to you by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree drafts. Come on, somebody.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name.
Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics this season. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings through October from 9 to 10 at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Another loaded slate is on the menu for college football this weekend. Tomorrow at 4:30, the 18th-ranked USF Bulls travel to Coral Gables to try and continue their magic and knock off the 5th-ranked Miami Hurricanes. Then at 7, the Gators head to Death Valley to take on the 3rd-ranked LSU Tigers. It's 82 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Football Friday on the First Coast. Jaguars defensive tackle Eric Armstead joins us now, coming off of a dominant win over the Panthers, 26-10. Eric, how did you think you played in that game?
I think it is solid. Always things to improve on and learn from. And I think, that's the mindset I've always have, is to get better and better throughout my career and each week as the season goes on.
Eric, when you talk about overall defensively, it definitely feels more aggressive, feels more physical. How do you feel about that side of it, just the physicality of how this defense feels early on?
Yeah, that's definitely our identity and what we want to display on film. We want, people to see that week in and week out, and it's a matter of mindset and bringing that intensity each and every week.
Eric, great to talk to you, man. So back inside, anything different feeling for you, with playing with Campanelli's defense? Can you be more aggressive? Is it one gap? What do you like about it so far?
I think, changing up the picture on offenses and, presenting different looks to them, I think is important. And then at times, just playing technique, and then at times having the ability to move and do different stunts and, like I said, display a different picture to the offensive line and the offense as a whole. I think, and the special thing about I feel our defense is, the continuity between the front end and the back end. We have some tremendous players on our second level and in our secondary as well too. And Fourier was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and made a huge plays all game. Jordan Lewis and the rest of the guys being sticking coverage. So I love the ability for us up front to do our job. And there's going to be times where, we're helping the guys on the back end, and there's going to be times where they're helping us, giving us an extra hitch to get to the quarterback.
Eric, I noticed a lot of defensive rotations last week. Was that due to the heat, and do you anticipate that again this Sunday, considering it's going to be pretty warm up in Cincinnati?
I think a rotation is always good. Able to stay fresh, and when you have great players all over the field, and when you have great depth on your team, you're able to rotate and stay fresh, which I feel is important, especially for playing up front and playing defensive line. You want to be fresh to be able to close out games, and you have to rotate in order to do that.
Eric, when you look at last week compared to this upcoming week, the Panthers 8 for 15 on those third downs. So maybe an area that maybe have been a little bit of a focus this week, especially going up against a guy like Joe Burrow, who's really good on those third downs. Has that been an emphasis?
Yeah, we definitely want to be better on third down. I think that's a point of emphasis each and every week for our defense to get off the field and give the ball back to our offense, especially when they're rolling and playing well. So it's going to be key, again, for us this week, especially playing against the talent that they have up there in Cincinnati. So, it's going to be a challenge, but we're definitely going to be looking forward to it.
Well, you got an offensive line that really had a challenging day against Cleveland a week ago, Eric. It looks like you guys could take some advantage of that. It starts up front with you guys stopping the run. You guys did a pretty good job overall stopping the run. Probably a handful of plays, not including the quarterback. That doesn't count. I know it does, but not in this sentence. But, the 8-yard runs, 5-yard runs here and there, just about a handful of them. Is that due to, guys getting blocked, being out of position, maybe a little mental error? What did you guys get from the coaches on the critique side of that?
I thought we did a great job in the run game. Obviously, the scrambles are something we want to eliminate.
Yeah.
And really, I think we did a good job. But also, you can always clean things up. And, it really was, some of those runs were a little bit of leaky yardage that if we, clean up our technique a little better and tighten things up, we can turn those 8-yard gains, those couple 8-yard gains that they had to 2 and 3-yard gains. Really just a matter of technique. But, in terms of our physicality and our commitment to stopping the run and playing with that mindset, I think everyone did a great job. And, it's something that we have to definitely carry on, as the season goes on.
Eric, one college football question for you. Did you rub it into Emmanuel Ogbah that Oregon beat Oklahoma State 69-3?
I actually did not. He actually came up to me and was like, dang, y'all whooped me. But the farther removed you get from college, I still have a lot of school pride, and I've gone back to Oregon many a times since I've left, and love being a Duck or a former Duck. But the farther removed you get, the less and less you're quote unquote paying attention to it each and every week. The rookies and the second year and the third year guys on our team are looking at what their colleges are doing each and every week. But I'm a huge supporter. Still love to watch when I can, but I got a lot of other things going on at times, and so I didn't even catch the game. I did hear about the crazy blowout, but we're Oregon. That's to be expected. We've been doing that for many years now, so it's nothing new for us.
Eric, talking about coming from a defensive player and what Travis Etienne was able to do on the ground this last week. Obviously, those 143 yards, but to surpassing the 200 on the ground for the team. How frustrating does that become for the defense, especially up front in that interior?
Definitely frustrating. Been a part of some of those games, unfortunately, where it seems like you can't stop the run, and it's definitely frustrating. And that's why, as a defender, I feel it always starts with the run game and trying to make a team one-dimensional, taking away that ability to run. Because if you can't stop that, it's just demoralizing. They keep going back to it and keep going back to it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And so, stopping them early and putting them in advantageous positions as an offense is where you want to be as a defense. But if you're not able to do that, it can definitely be a long day.
1 sack last week, Eric. You had 5 quarterback hits as a defense. Obviously, Bryce a little slippery getting out of that pocket. I don't think Joe Burrow will be as such. But when you guys get that close, what is it? Just you get there just a half a step too late, they slip out of your grip. What happens where you're not finishing and turning those numbers into sacks?
It's you obviously want more production, but I think the key is controlling what you can control, which is creating pressure, winning your one-on-ones, doing your job, rushing with lane integrity, keeping them in the pocket. Some of those things, which is in your control and you can do. And so I think that's, as a guy who played a lot week in and week out and had productive days and haven't had productive days, but also still felt like I played well and, had put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but it didn't result into quote-unquote production with sacks and things like that. That's just the nature of the game, and you keep rushing, you keep going, you keep getting better and better, you keep fine-tuning, your skill, and keep fine-tuning how you rush as a unit as well, too. And, I always look at it as if you're getting back there at a high enough rate and you're continuing to put pressure and pressure and pressure, the productivity is going to show up eventually. And so you just stay positive, stay motivated, and keep going.
Yep. Good.
Eric, I predicted that Josh Hines Allen will get 2 sacks and tie the franchise record on Sunday. Can you make sure that happens, please?
Let's do it. We got to get him that record. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen for sure. And I'm excited for him, and I can't wait to celebrate that with him, especially with the win. That's the goal.
Absolutely. Definitely. We're all on board for 2-0. Eric, thank you so much. We know you have a lot to get done before you head to Cincinnati.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on, and talk to you next week or see everyone on Sunday as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks, Eric.
Beautiful.
Yeah, look, it's a monumental game, I feel like, for the fan base, right? Like, to win both cat fights right out of the gate, and for Trevor Lawrence to take down Joe Burrow. They've only played against each other twice, once in college, once in the NFL. And so I think it's an important game for this team to also show everyone week 1 was not a fluke just because it was against Carolina and a team that maybe isn't as good. This is who we are. We're a physical football team. We're going to run the football, and Trevor Lawrence is going to hopefully complete more than around 61% of his passes.
Yeah, somebody on the text line mentioned this, and I didn't even think about it. I wonder how much Coach Camp has picked Kaiser's brain with being so familiar with Al Golden's defense, obviously, and very recently, because, that's someone who was the leader on that Notre Dame defense for a while and was the guy. My cousin went to the Saints preseason game and said there was a point, he was sitting right behind the Jags bench, and said there was a point where Kaiser was on the bench with the iPad. All the linebackers were around Kaiser, and he was kind of showing them, they were kind of breaking down some stuff on the iPad. And so having that familiarity with, we're talking about, you don't really know what to expect in Cincinnati, but it is somebody who's worked very closely with him for a while.
I can answer your question. Liam Coen was asked that earlier today. Did you talk to Jack Kaiser about the Notre Dame defense? And Liam's answer was, yeah, we did.
That's why I was like, I wonder how much. Like, how much are we
He obviously wasn't going to go into detail.
Whatever you can, right? Get whatever info you can.
All right, we got to make our picks on the other side, as well as Lauren's Lane Awaits. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
While you were watching the ball, he saw what happened in the trenches.
I'm Jeff Logman.
And he tells you about it every Tuesday. Check the tape. 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Checked by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
Football season is back, baby. Hicken here, and I know I'm excited to get back to watching some ball over the weekend. But with the fun comes responsibility. Taking care of your skin while outside, extremely important. We know it feels like 100 out there, and that sun is blazing. Make sure you bring the screen while loading up all that tailgate. It's simple. Protect your skin. It's the Sunshine State. To help you protect your skin, Beaches Dermatology is here. I've been going to them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's a sauce kind of football season with Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Each crispy, juicy bite only gets better when you choose your favorite sauces to dip into and create your own flavor combinations. Will it be sriracha and ranch, honey and buffalo, barbecue, and Chick-fil-A sauce with 21 different sauce pairings possible? It's easy to go on a flavor adventure. Order in a 4-count, 10-count, or in a catering tray. Get an order started today in the Chick-fil-A app and dip on into football season.
Helmets and Heels. Fought for you by Queen Law Group on 1010XL.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY and take the fear out of the fight. Offices, Jacksonville.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Calling all poker players. The Best Bet Summer Swing Series kicks off August 18th at Best Bet Orange Park with a $200 no-limit hold'em and a $100,000 guarantee. Next stop, Best Bet St. Augustine with a $150,000 guaranteed poker tournament. Then wrap it up Labor Day weekend in Jacksonville with a massive $300,000 guarantee. Play all 3 events and swing for big winnings. Get all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
The first half champion Jumbo Shrimp are home this weekend at newly renovated ViStar Ballpark. Join us tonight for Hispanic Heritage Night and Friday fireworks presented by Florida Blue and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Tomorrow, the first 2,000 fans through the main gate get an umbrella courtesy of ViStar and Roland Reach, plus more fireworks. Then it's Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day. Tickets start at just $5.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Looking for the ultimate tailgate spot this football season? Front Runners Tap House has 20-plus televisions, including a massive 396-inch television, so you won't miss a single play. Sink your teeth into extra crispy brine wings, smash burgers, and flatbreads. Fan favorites inspired by the local. Cold beer, a full bar, and the sound always on for every big game. Bring the family and catch every touchdown at Front Runners Tap House, inside the Community First Igloo.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Thanks again to Eric Armstead for joining us, Jaguars defensive tackle. Taylor Dahl is here. Tom McManus is along for the ride. RJ Saunders making it all happen, and I am Lauren Brooks with you. And it is time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane, driven by Mazda at the Avenues. This is luxury. This is Mazda at the Avenues.
All right, today's topic that has come into Lauren's Lane, driven by Mazda at the Avenues, is a high school quarterback name to know. Coming out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Dunham quarterback Elijah Haven. Okay, that's the name you need to know. Elijah Haven. He is a junior. He's currently a 4-star quarterback. I'm not sure how he's not a 5-star, but this is his stat line from just last night. His team won over Live Oak 63-42. He had 535 yards of total offense and a career-high 8 total touchdowns.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It's
I think
a
he
good day.
passed for 6 and ran for 2 to account for 8 touchdowns. Again, Elijah Haven, that is your quarterback name to know.
Where do you cut the line 4 and 5? You know what I mean? Like, where's the line? Like,
Yeah,
he's
to me,
5,
8
he's 4.
touchdowns, it should be upgraded from 4-star to 5-star.
Some of those stars.
Those services, I know. I don't really pay attention to those necessarily, but I saw because Zach Albaverdi, who covers the Florida Gators, was there for the Live Oak team. So that's how this came across my desk, and I was like, holy cow. I had not heard of him before. I'm sure the people that pay far more attention to recruiting than I do had heard of him.
Especially that area.
Yeah, and he's gotten recruited by, of course, the likes of like a Florida, Georgia, LSU, those types of teams. So we'll see. I don't know where he's going to end up going, but if he wants to come to
is
Florida,
a good night.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, whoever you're playing, that's a very productive night.
You got
What
that.
if he's tired?
Right.
Tired after all that. That's pretty good.
I mean, when you're 17, 18, well, he's a junior, so I guess like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
You don't get tired. All right, time now for this week's picks. Just a reminder, the standings go like this.
Yeah, what are the standings?
I have
Taylor's losing.
I have 8 points. It is early though. Tom has 4 points, 4 total points, and I already said me. Taylor has 3 points. I should have just started with the Taylor and the 3 points.
So 1
Tom
point
4
per
points. Victory.
Right one, victory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have either game picker uppers. The Frangie Show does that. We
8,
also don't
4,
have
3. All right.
extra points for the
Cool.
Jaguars, which I wish we did because we would all have extra points at this point in time. But we will kick things off in the college realm. Taylor, I will start with you as Tennessee plays host to Georgia. And I did want to make this note, by the way, Georgia is on the road as a 4-point favorite. I don't know if y'all saw this, but Tennessee, by 4. Tennessee will honor John Henderson.
I did see that actually.
Before the game.
Nice.
Yeah, so the
Big
two-time consensus first-team All-American. He will be honored, of course, fantastic Jaguars defensive lineman as well. Taylor Dahl, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee. My guy Aguilar this year, who I'm rooting for, and obviously Heupel, what he's been able to do with that. But I think it's been really fun to watch Tennessee's offense this last couple weeks, and I just don't know. I think there's concerns there with Georgia, and I know every time we say that, they're able to kind of prove some people wrong. I'm not the biggest Gunnar Stockton believer, honestly. And so I do think, and I know it's on the road, but it's a favorite on the road, which you feel like that means there's a lot of confidence in Georgia, but I'm going to go Tennessee.
All right, Tom, who you got?
Yeah, I got Tennessee, too, and now even more so that Big Hen's being inducted. But listen, the points have moved. Last night it was -6. So already moved a couple points, so I think Vegas is feeling something there. People are feeling it. Yeah, no, I'm going to go. I told you, I watched some of that Tennessee-Syracuse game, and I was impressed with Aguilar especially, but just overall, I was like, they're a pretty good football team. But, yeah, I think they hold their own at home, and you know what? Maybe this is their time to, shine. We'll see. But, I'm going Tennessee.
So Josh Heupel has yet to beat Kirby Smart, but with these points, Tennessee doesn't have to beat Georgia in order to cover that spread, and so I'm going to go Tennessee as well. Like Hayes asked me last week, who would I be rooting for? I'm rooting really for neither, but I suppose it's at this point in time, if you're a Vols fan, obviously you need Josh Heupel to at some point in time beat Kirby Smart. Yeah, so this is the first time that we've all picked the same team in the college realm. Just FYI. All right, let's get it to Texas A&M at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 6.5-point favorite. Tom, I'll start with you.
I'm taking Texas A&M, man. What's their quarterback's name? Reed, isn't
Marcel
it?
Reed.
Marcel Reed. Yeah, I like him. I think he's going to be interesting. And, I don't like Notre Dame, so I'm flat out just going to say I'm going with Texas A&M. Listen, I don't, and no disrespect to the big man, but I don't really know how good Miami is yet, right? They're a good team. There's no doubt about it. But how good are they? We're going to find out as we go along. So I know they take care of business and whatnot, but I think so. I know Notre Dame went toe-to-toe with them, right? They're two good teams. I just don't know how good yet, but I think I'm going to take Texas A&M in those points.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because both teams do have really good defenses. I'll also take Texas A&M and those points as well, but I think Notre Dame, sorry, Tom, I think Notre Dame does pull out the victory, just not by
I can't make a comeback if we have the same picks.
Taylor?
Yeah, I'm actually going Texas A&M also. I think that for me, going back to the beginning, they started the season with them last year. It was a low-scoring game. It was a very defensive-heavy game. It felt like for a while nobody was going to score points whatsoever. Not saying I feel like it'll be identical to last year because I do think the game plan for both teams will be a little bit different. I don't know if they trusted their quarterbacks as much throwing last year as they do this year. But I still think that and I also need to see more from Notre Dame when it comes to a game in its whole. There were moments of good. They already had a bye week, so you haven't even got to see them, and you don't really know what things are going to look like, how much they've learned or are going to take out of that Miami game. So until I see a little bit more, I'm going A&M.
I don't like the 2 bye weeks in the college football season.
I hate it.
Like FSU has a bye week already this weekend.
It's dumb.
Yeah, right. I agree.
I'm not a fan. All right, switching over to the National Football League. To me, obviously, this game is hopefully going to be better than the Super Bowl, but certainly is a game that all eyes will be on. Eagles at the Chiefs. I think it's a tough game to pick. It opened as a pick'em. It's now the Eagles 1-point favorites on the road, so the money shifts a little bit to Philadelphia, which doesn't surprise me because of the when we did see these two teams play most recently, and it looks like, by the way, the Chiefs will not have Xavier Worthy. No surprise because of that dislocated shoulder. So I'm going to take the Eagles on the road, and that means the Chiefs go 0-2 for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era. Taylor, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to say the Chiefs. It's hard for me to not. I can't picture a world where you see them starting 0-2, and I think also they are going to come out with extra fire because of the way Patrick Mahomes was getting rocked in the Super Bowl. I think Philly is the better roster overall, but I do think that with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, you're able to win this one at home.
All right, Tom.
I'd like to switch it to the Chiefs, but I did have the Eagles circled. So there you go again. I can't get one up on you on that one either. But yeah, I'm going Philadelphia.
Okay.
I just think they're a better team right now. I do think it's going to be a heck of a game, and I wouldn't be surprised if KC pulls it out. But, look, you go to Brazil, you get caught up in the festivities. Who knows what happens? You know what I mean? You got to come back down to earth and play a big football game. But it should be a really good game, and but I'm at the end of the day, I'm going Philadelphia.
Yeah, Arrowhead is going to be insane on Sunday. All right, Taylor, back to you when it comes to the cat fight, the Jaguars at the Bengals. Bengals 3.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Jaguars. I think that, and I don't know, for me with the Bengals, it's more so hesitation of where they are than it is the Jaguars personally right now, because I do think I need to see a better opponent for me to really evaluate where I feel like the Jags stand. But when it comes to the Bengals, I think these slow starts just kind of haunt them, and they have a lot of issues. They can't run the ball right now. Their offensive line looks rough. Their defense, we will see. I feel like it looked better last week, but that was just something that you could really take advantage of last year. And if we're talking about a corner room that we're confident in, and Coach Camp's defense that we feel confident in, that you should be able to handle some of those weapons.
All right, Taylor's got the Jaguars. Tom, you, I know, have the Jaguars because you said that on Monday you had the Jags.
Yeah, I do have the Jags, and I'll take the points as well. But I think I have them winning 24-23. I think it's going to be a really tight game. I think it's going to be an awesome game to watch. And look, that offensive line can be had. And I expect Eric Armstead and company to wreak some havoc this week. And you're going to have to in order to even get near Burrow. And even if you do rattle him, he can still hurt you. So it does really turn over to who? To our quarterback. And Trevor Lawrence, although he played okay last week, he's got to take that next step. He's got to hit that bomb. And I hope they keep throwing him down there because you're going to connect. He's really good in the middle down the football field. Keep doing that. He was just a tad off on the one to Travis Hunter. And think about that. a little bit higher. They catch a ball. He takes it in for a score. We got a totally different conversation going on about this team and about this quarterback. So they're that close, but it's time for Trevor. He's got to do it. It's fine last week. Step it up a notch, be better than fine, and hit on those big plays, and you can win this football game. And you talk about Dave's they're excited. They have no idea what excitement is when you win down here in Jacksonville. There's nothing like it. So 2-0, bring it home to the fans.
Yeah, I've loved even this week going to the grocery store, and I've seen more Jags apparel and Jags flags in people's houses or in people's yards. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I've got the Jaguars too. I love Liam Coen, the play caller. I love Coach Camp and Campy and the defensive scheme. I think Dewey might actually get the interception this week. Maybe not a pick six, but I feel like this team, whether it's Jordan Lewis or Andrew Wingard, they are going to be able to hopefully trick Joe Burrow into throwing an interception, if not two. And I just think this team has confidence because of the triumvirate that is here in Jacksonville. Tony Baselli instills confidence. James Gladstone instills confidence. And, of course, the head coach does as well. All right. Last but not least, the wild card. This is the one that I've had trouble with. I didn't love anything in college because a lot of the spreads are too big, and now it's week 2 in the NFL, and I feel like that's just as topsy-turvy as week 1. Taylor, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to the Bucks at Texans.
I looked at that one.
Houston is 2.5-point favorites at home. I'm going Bucks. I think Bucks upset the Texans on the road.
I liked that one a lot. Yep, well done with that. And then Tom?
Oh, I went...
I was like, did you have one?
Yeah, no, I did. I looked at the Chargers and the Raiders. And it's 3.5. Chargers are the favorite.
Those head coaches first coached against each other in 2007.
Wow.
Pete Carroll and Harbaugh.
And Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I read that today.
Okay. Nice little tidbit there. I appreciate that. I'm going with the Chargers. I think Harbaugh's going to go into Vegas, keep his boys inside and away from the strip clubs and the casinos, and they'll be praying or something, and then they'll go out there and take care of business. Not going to listen. The Raiders. They took care of the Pats, and the Pats people are all ticked off that happened, but we'll see what happens. But no, I got the Chargers winning and covering the spread as well.
And what was the spread again?
3.5.
3.5. All right. Yep. And then I did go in the college world, back to the college world. I have Oklahoma on the road at Temple. It's too big of a spread, but I'm going with John Mateer and company. 22.5 points. Oklahoma is favored by. But here's the tricky part. Did you hear when I said it's at Temple? That's insane to think that Oklahoma is going to Temple.
I played at Temple.
Well, they're actually playing at Lincoln Financial.
Right. We used to play in the vet when it was awful. You know, the baseball would be there, and like there would be creases.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, it was like cement. Just awful. Yeah, but Temple always had like 1 or 2 guys that played in the NFL. They were like tough city kids.
Yeah.
So they'll give you a run for your money, but eventually you'll wear them down and outscore them.
Certainly what I am hoping. All right, those are our picks for the week. And we've got the Terminix Pest of the Day on the other side. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's a clash of the big cats, spots, and stripes. Who rules the jungle? Find out Sunday at 1. Jaguars-Bengals on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Helmets and heels. Backed by Queen Law Group on 1010XL.
From humble origins on Beach Boulevard to the grandeur of the old homestead, Taco Lou has bucked the odds, selling cheap tacos and even cheaper beers since 2008. I'll be the first to lament that nothing is cheap anymore, but much has not changed in 17 years. Bangin' Shrimp still rocks, margaritas flow day and night, and we love to see old friends and make new friends every day. You can still spin the wheel or sit outside on the patio in the sun with friends and family. It's been a ton of fun, and we have you, Jacksonville, Jacksonville to thank for 17 years. Tagaloo in Jacksonville Beach.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Carissa McCullough in Yulee at 904-261-2223.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Lauren Brooks here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they are opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business that they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. I almost said Frank Frangie and Hayes Carline because I've told you before this is their intro music.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And
Brings
so,
you
yeah,
back.
it feels like, yeah, the Frangie show is happening as we speak. All right, it's time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day, as always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online and get a free consultation at Terminix.com. That's Terminix.com. They will come give you a free estimate at your house, whether you have ant issues, mosquito issues, pest in general issues, termites. Terminix are the ones to do it, and they take care of Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and a whole lot of other event venues around town. All right, the pest of the day is so easy today, y'all. It's Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Because in case you watched the game last night, and especially post game, the fans were chanting, the Packers fans, that is, chanting, "Thank you, Jerry."
Oh, yeah.
Because Micah Parsons was traded from the Cowboys to the Packers. And I know this is a sensitive subject for you, Taylor Dahl, because the Packers look really good right now. But Jerry, why on earth would you ever trade one of the best pass rushers in the league right now? I had said that he would never do it because I thought it was an idiotic move, and then he did it, and I thought it was even more idiotic after watching the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, this is Jerry, and he's said it, and we've talked about it. He doesn't care as much about winning as he does making his franchise the highest profiting and all of these other things. And he said it in that one quote that if they're not in the news, he'll make them be in the news. And he got him in the news by trading Micah Parsons. So
I guess he probably loved that they were chanting that last night.
Yeah, he's like, "You're welcome."
Right. Like, oh, thanks for bringing me back into the national spotlight.
So I really
Prime.
think he does things like that to be like, they're talking about me. And have you watched the America's Team, by the way, on Netflix?
The documentary, I have not.
I started it very, very good.
Okay.
But in the beginning, it starts, obviously, he's got his money from the oil to begin. And so he's talking about that big oil hit he had. And he was like, as the oil's spewing out, he's like, I'm going to buy the Dallas Cowboys. And that was the start of everything. But that's, and I feel like the arrogance has just grown with Jerry Jones over time.
All that plastic surgery's gone to his brain is what's happened. He just wants to be the biggest star. That's the problem. He does. He wants to be in control of everything. I mean, he's the GM and the owner.
Yeah.
That's like rare, very rare to be that hands-on, but he's been doing it forever. I don't expect him to change now, but it's all ego with him. He's wrong. I mean, why you'd ever let go of Micah Parsons, I don't know. That just seems so asinine. He can't stop the run, he says, which I don't believe, that's the reason, Micah Parsons. But I think it's more ego than anything. Like, he's got to be the biggest star. He doesn't, which is crazy because, back in the early 90s, the stars were Aikman and Smith and Irvin. And he seemed okay with that because you didn't really... I mean, you still heard Jerry Jones, but you heard them. They were America's team, those guys. Those three guys especially, throwing Novacek, throwing other guys. But then as time went on, it became not America's team, Jerry's team.
Yeah.
And he wants
Jerry's
to
world is literally what people call the stadium.
right. And he wants, everything to be about him. So whatever, his loss, I mean, that guy looked unbelievable last night. He was all over the place.
Yeah, it doesn't look like his back's hurting.
No,
not at all. And you know what? What's amazing is, so he's probably, 250, I think? I think he's around that. He's lining up on guards and beating them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's lining up and beating them with strength and power, not like just quickness and getting around them. He's like just pushing right by him. It's pretty impressive how strong that young man must be.
Yeah, he's 250. Myles Garrett's 272.
Yeah.
So the big discrepancy there. But like
difference,
TJ Watt's also in the 250.
Yeah, but TJ stays outside. I mean, you're going against, these big offensive guards. Now, again, if you're beating them with speed, it's one thing, but he's beating them with just flat out strength and power. Yeah, it's pretty. He's really impressive. So whatever, Green Bay's like, hell yeah. Look, Love looks good. Jordan Love looked good. That Kraft tight end is a badass.
Yeah, by the way,
Kraft is really good.
Does anyone look more like a Packer than Tucker Kraft?
No, you're right.
Like, he
yeah,
just
for
looks
sure.
like the quintessential.
That guy in the audience, the
Green
guy
Bay
in
Packer.
the fan in the audience with no shirt and smoking his vape. That's what I picture a Packer.
Yeah, right. I like him throwing. They threw the ball downfield a lot, it seemed, last night. I like for us to do that Sunday, man.
I
Take a
think
few more
Washington's
shots.
defense is not good. I think that Lions defense have probably taken a step. So I think that Green Bay's always good. They're always winning 10, 11, 12 games. That's what it is. But I don't know how well of a defense you've played yet to start the year.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Certainly, we'll find out. By the way, the Cowboys play host to the Giants on Sunday at 1 o'clock. So the panic meter in Dallas, if the Cowboys somehow find a way to lose that game, which I don't anticipate them.
Yeah, especially they kept it close with Philly. So.
Right, and the Giants with Russell Wilson have not obviously showed to be good through 1 week. But if the Cowboys somehow, some way lose to the Giants, oh man.
Jackson Dart will be inserted
honestly,
and he'll win the game.
Yeah. I mean, you had to reassure your fans after week 1 that, Russell Wilson's still the quarterback. So that shows, I'm sure fans, if it looks terrible again, fans will be chanting Jackson Dart.
Oh, for sure. And
but
if he comes in but if they win, if the Giants beat the Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer is already going to be on the hot seat.
For sure.
It's the second game ever in the NFL.
I come to think of it, Dallas also let that great D lineman go, Dexter Lawrence. Or I think maybe not Dexter, but he went up to Seattle. Remember, he was like number 90. He was a really good player for them with Micah. They were teammates. They actually had some kind of quarrel over in social media. He said something, and what's that? DeMarcus Lawrence. Thank you. Yeah, he was. So you're like talking about two really good players on their front that are no longer there. Kenny Clark's a good defensive tackle, but there's no one-on-one in there.
Yeah, I saw that Jadeveon Clowney visited the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
And then he left without signing because he wants to weigh his options. So he literally was like, I'd rather probably not.
Honestly, free agents aren't going to want to go there. Like, after the way that Jerry just handled Micah, they're like, if they're not paying Micah Parsons, like, what am I going to get?
Right, yeah, good point.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've got one segment to go here on this Football Friday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
Yo, it's your main man E to the T here. And have you been to Clay County lately? It's the perfect escape and just a short drive away. Hiking, paddling, fishing, and plenty more ways to enjoy the outdoors. This month, you can take on the Whistling Death 5 and 10K. Dig into bold flavors at the annual Soul Food Festival and enjoy fall festivals all across the county. Make the call this weekend and enjoy great times and make wonderful new memories, all in our area. Check out exploreclay.com to plan your weekend adventure. That's exploreclay.com.
Jeff Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. Need a leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects? Or top-tier residential service? No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's is the name Northeast Florida counts on. Visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Get down to the bank Sunday, September 21st, as your Jaguars face off with division rivals, the Houston Texans. Celebrate Hispanic heritage and witness history as the Jaguars take the field for the first time this season in the legendary Prowler throwback jerseys. Lock in your seats now for a 1 p.m. kick by visiting Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at Everbank Stadium.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Can I read you one of my favorite quotes from a Jaguars player this week?
Sure.
I look forward to going against anybody with eyebrows. Our guy, Jarian Jones. He's hilarious. And I read it to Jacob in the office, Jacob Simons, and he was like, what does that mean? And I was like, pretty much I'm guessing he's saying he can shut it, like he can get anybody, any quarterback, doesn't matter, or any wide receiver, whatever he's talking about in that sense. And then someone commented and was like, go against Josh Dobbs. And I was like, poor guy, because he has no eyebrows.
That's all. I know. I thought he was making fun of Bryce Young because he looks like he gets his, nice and shaved.
He gets some like micro-dermed.
Yeah, it looked like it. I thought he was making fun of him.
Which
That's
maybe
funny.
he was.
Could be, yeah.
You never know.
But he's hilarious.
Yeah,
Jardian
he
cracks
is.
me up.
Yeah, he is.
He's great.
The personalities on this team are starting to shine a lot too, and obviously a win helps some of the fun come out of these players. But they had the other video, Lauren, that you sent me where they were going around and they're like, "I'm passing the phone to somebody who," and so the trend you do that and you like they don't know, the next person doesn't know what you're saying. Usually, you just say it, and so when the video's at the end, it's funny. But there were so many funny moments in that because I can't remember who it was, but someone said, "I'm passing my phone to a mosquito," and then he hands it as Brian Thomas Jr.
I think that was Jarian.
Was it Jarian? I think it was Jarian. And then the later one was, "I'm passing the phone to Baby Teeth," and then it was Josh Hines Allen.
I was like, that is so mean. But I do think that you can tell that they get along. And I mean, I guess when the Jaguars social team puts out those videos from the past few years, it seemed like they've gotten along well too then too. But it does feel like the Liam Coen and Coach Campy, like, I feel like their decision making is aligned, right? Like they both are aggressive, like we've talked about. They both want that physicality, and I think that that's translating to the players as well. By the way, in the NFL on Sunday night, we get a rematch as far as quarterback v. quarterback. J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix square off against one another like they did in the College Football National Championship game a few years ago.
That's right. McCarthy showed a lot of guts coming back, I know, against the Bears, but he did because he wasn't performing very well.
Sucked. He sucked for 3 quarters.
Then he turned it on, got it done, found a way.
Did you see the video, by the way, of him talking to Justin Jefferson on the sideline? And he went up to Jefferson and was like, "Don't give up on me, please. Like, I'll be there." And Justin's like, "Nah, I got your back, man. Like, you're my quarterback." I loved that exchange, and I obviously just saw it after. I didn't see that happening during the game, but that's the moment where you do, as somebody like Justin Jefferson, who obviously is one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the league, kind of instilling confidence in your quarterback. I'm sure that helped JJ a lot in that moment.
You should have just said, "Just give me the ball."
Yeah, he's like,
"Be quiet.
Find me." Well, he tried,
Quit
but
talking and give me the ball.
Justin had a drop, had a couple drop. Like, he wasn't looking good either at the
week
beginning.
one for some of the wide receiver ones wasn't as good as it has been, or certainly as good as people expected. And I know, obviously, for the fantasy world, that's a big deal. By the way, have you played at Cincinnati, Tom?
I have,
and
absolutely.
What is it like? I know for a long stretch, the Bengals were called the Bungles, and they obviously were not good for quite some time. This team is completely different, and the Who Days will be heard very loudly.
No, they weren't rocking like they, I don't think their fan base was into it that much, but it's a beautiful place near the water. They were pretty good team. I mean, they had a really, really good running back in Corey Dillon. I mean, that guy was just an absolute beast. But I think we won. I don't know. I think we won up there.
Was it a winter?
No, it was balmy because it was supposed to be cold, but it wasn't. It ended up being like not too bad. That was on our, I want to say 96 or 98. They, like we were talking, years blur together. But yeah, it's a cool place to play. It's got a lot of history, and they've got the Reds up there, and obviously the Bengals. So yeah, but. Their chili sucks, and no, I'm just kidding.
Skyline chili, they use chocolate in their chili.
Yeah,
chocolate.
They put it on like spaghetti.
Yeah, there's not beans. There's
so
no.
Call it a meat sauce.
I like it.
I don't know. Whatever. Just go up there and win the game. That's all we care about. And by the way, all these guys having fun down here, that's what happens when you win.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
They'll still be happy, but it's when you win, it's like, all right. And then, by the way, the critique just rolls. You hear it. You don't want to. You want to do. You obviously want to. Correct it, but it just kind of rolls off your back. Like, okay, I got you. It's good. As opposed to not being happy and then getting critiqued and then maybe getting a little defensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just much easier to handle it all that.
We haven't seen Liam Coen be defensive yet because he hasn't needed to be.
No, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and like you've mentioned several times, like he's certainly honest and things like that. And once again, a reminder, Rick Ballou Into the Night on 10:10 a.m. The Frangie Show comes up next on 92.5 FM, and we say hello to Hayes Carline.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, I feel like all week we've said, well, granted it was just week one, I'm excited now that we're going to have 2 games under our belt to figure out more about this NFL.
Yeah, massive opportunity. I just saw this. Apparently, it's going to be like record heat in Cincinnati on Sunday.
It's
really
hotter there than it is here.
Yeah, love that. Good. So, little intangible there to play with. And,
intangibly hot.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity. I mean, I think they match up well. We'll see. Burrow's certainly a superstar and very clutch, but I mean, once you get beyond Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, which I get, and Hendrickson.
Yep.
Once you get beyond those guys, I think there's a pretty significant drop-off on their roster. And so, again, we'll see. The Jaguars have to go up there. It was one game. They played great against Carolina. But I'm optimistic that it's going to be a 2-0 start.
Are you optimistic about Saturday night?
I am not. I don't think
it'll be hot there also.
Yes, I don't think Florida has much of a chance at all. I mean, even if they were great, even if they'd beaten South Florida 38-13, I'd still pick LSU. I mean, Florida doesn't win there. They don't win there at night. They don't win there when they take elite teams there. So to think that this nincompoop is gonna lead Florida to a win in Death Valley is, to me, it's I would take LSU and I'd give the points and I'd feel great about it. I hope I'm wrong. I mean,
sure. You think Brian Kelly's a better coach than Billy Davis?
Shocking. Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Taylor.
Barely.
Yeah. But yeah, so all that coming up on the Frangie Show. I had a chance to catch up with Travis Etienne and Trayvon Walker a little bit ago in the locker room. And Pete Prisco will join us to talk all things Jags and NFL. So we'll get you ready for the weekend. We'll do our picks. It should be a lot of fun.
Sounds good. Thank you, Hayes.
Thank you.
All right.
I wanted to remind people also about the watch party on
please.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So I will be at Frontrunners Tap House. It's inside the Igloo. So come hang out. $1 wings, $5 drafts, $8 appetizers. We'll have prizes. There'll be multiple ways you can win. Come hang out and watch the Jags win and beat the Bengals.
How many wings will you eat?
I cannot eat a lot of that. I'll usually like 5-6 pieces are what I usually go for, but I'll be hungry in 1 hour. So like I'll order 5 and then after halftime I'll get another order. That's probably my game plan.
That's a good game plan. And let's hope the Jags also have a good game plan on Sunday.
Yeah, attack, and then just,
lead.
ruin Joe Burrow's day. Not his career, just his day.
Yeah,
give him a headache.
It did feel like someone tweeted this. I don't remember who. I'd give them credit. On Sunday with the lightning delay, someone put this is the longest lead the Jaguars have had in a long time.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Ouch.
Right. But yeah, get a lead. This team played from behind so often last year that getting out in front of the Panthers was great. Get out in front of the Bengals and make them try to play catch up. I think that would work well. All right, that'll do
Come
it
back
for
home.
us. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
Win the second cap fight.
Nobody's allowed to stay. Nobody.
Yeah, I don't think Liam's going to have that problem. No. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday. Everyone enjoy the football weekend, but of course, don't go anywhere. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010 a.m. The Frangie Show on 92.5 FM. It's a football weekend.